Good morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. So I had an odd night, Monday maybe, and I went through and did a bunch of the doc comments. Well, that's something, which are pretty much mostly formulaic. There might actually be a few of these I want to revisit. Like, type of the video. Yeah, it doesn't really say what the raw is. It does say what it returns it as. But maybe a comment to the effect of it turns hour, minute, second into this. But one of the other things I want to do is I have one other application that might actively be using it. And actually, I have to see if it actually is using it. Okay, it is not. Well, okay, so the front end is not. We're not using this at all. This is, I don't know for how much. Well, there's the compiled stuff. So we're using video. Okay, applying code is using video because it takes a list of videos. I was using the full thing there, huh? Well, now she looks user. I did no narrowing on this, but I think I'm using very, very little. Very, very little of this. So I might be able to do some narrowing there. However, for this side of things, I have to remember what my test setup was like. Was I even able to point... Yeah, because this is lambda. Was I even able to point this... Yeah, I'm not able to directly test it. What I did was we had a test file, which just sent a request, and we have a couple of different requests. We have bin. Oh, this is for the root directory. So nothing directly here. So probably lambda is it lambda or is it test? So monitor is the main file. Lambda monitor is just the compiler. It's test.js itself. Config monitor? Ah, yes, that's the little broadcaster page for the extension. So I had a thing to compile it, which will be a lot of what we're doing. At some point I'll need to actually... Well, I don't need to do too much actual testing. Except I now need to be testing against the local version. So that means we have to remove this. I think at least this has to move up, and maybe parser does too. And we have to add Twitch API source. Need a valid JSON file. Oh, right, because we're at dot here. Okay, and in fact, we do need parser. And I might not actually need ALM-HTTP, but I will need it when I put things back to actual library. Oh, okay. So, well, what do we have to do to... What was I doing to run this? Aha. No, that's Lambda. Or am I calling it Lambda and it actually runs test? Yeah, no, okay. So we've not actually broken anything here. Yet. So the one thing passes through a video type, which we might not be using that video type. Is it handler? Oop. Twitch.id.decode. No. Is it state? You probably do most of it. So helix.video, helix.user. And what do you actually need to store? I've got a request. User ID, user. I know I had an encode somewhere. Send response state.session. Events equals. Oh, maybe it's just, that's the only thing in there. User equal, now you see this is only doing ID names, so that's already, well, you're already doing those two things. Got user, user ID, user display name. User ID, user display name. So that seems like the only things we're using out of here. Expect JSON. Validate user, helix.users. Validate user is just, we got at least one. We already have some kind of decode. We have an event decode, which is a different kind of event. What's up? User ID, user ID, username. Shh. Oh no, it's code. This is the code behind the Schedule from Videos extension, which if you pop open the About box, there's a little Twitch extension there. Or there's also the online version. Whoops. Which looks at when the actual videos are for people like me who don't have super consistent schedules. So I had an API change recently made me look at my Twitch library, which I had some thoughts about rewriting. Now I'm rewriting it, and this application, well, it needs to be brought in line with all the changes I've made. And I don't remember where I'm using everything. So this is decoding like events from, this might be like serialized events. You've got this Helix users thing. Got event decode, we've got lambda HTTP, we've got reply encode, and I think encode was one of the things where, yeah, we were using that video type, even though we're probably not using very much of it. Yeah, we're using 2 fields out of it. Nice. And that just takes 2 fields. So we've got event reply, we've got lambda. If I did a thing like event and reply, it would be, yeah, they only had one thing each. I'm going to be called like Twitch or something, but that would kind of possibly collide with the other Twitch space. I don't know if it would. But I want to be able to replace this stuff with other things. So helix.video, helix.video, helix.user. So we need to figure out what we need of user, and in individual cases here, it might not even be an entire user record. That's just saying there was something retrieved. So that is doing a filter, so that's actually one more field. And I actually sort of wrote this into the decoder, one of my other things. You've got to decode video, but it's a very small thing. It doesn't actually have to do a lot of stuff. Of course, with the helpers from the Twitch library, these might not have to do very much in general. So if we already got to decode videos, well, it's doing helix.videos and then map. What was the other one I was doing video stuff in? I don't know why I don't think why you'd need videos. You're doing clips. Am I forgetting about one? Oh, because you actually do some of this. You actually have like a miniature version of this for the daily schedules. But you also do a lot of other things. Okay. Oh, actually, it did get a little bit hairy here. I don't think I worried about the response type here until we got to reply. And we didn't formalize it as that type. It just created data and duration. Right, now the other end is going to have to deal with parsing this. I need to decode that record. Which I guess that this decode module could specify what that video type is now? But what is a schedule graph dot event? It is indeed a POSIX and a duration, which a duration is a int encoded as an int. Doing it inline here is going to be specifying quite a few more things. Oop, that's going to have to be a Windows copy. This isn't in the code module. Maybe I still want that. Cut out a lot of this stuff. There might be a users. I could even see there being a logins list, although what's that from? That is indeed user. If we do not have a persist or a schedule graph. And helix was for the types. Yeah, and you see that's a persist user, so I can't really do that straight off. And we don't have a schedule graph event, so we may have to copy some of that stuff over. So that you have a data type where we're using video as a type before. And then you're going to have to expose that. Okay, you might not actually be considered part of that compile right now, because it didn't actually depend upon it. Sure, event decode. Oop. Okay, helix.video. So we're actually going to decode to events. I'll get back to users. Okay, so we had pulled in POSIX in there before. And this had used duration, which was really just an alias for int. Okay, nerd decode videos. Oop. Oh, we're still, right, my encode is still referencing the full video thing. So, we have to go ahead and change that too. And right now, in order to talk about that type, we actually have to use the decode module. Oh, you were already duration start. All right, so since this is effectively its own internal type here. Anyway. All right, that compiles. And the other thing we had was user Linux users. All right, so validate. That's just that it's there. Actually, this is not going to be what we need. We need these. That's user ID display name. That is user ID display name. So it sounds like that's all we need here. Now, you I took out because you were doing a persist user, but this is actually pretty close. We'll just have to define a custom type for it. ID is a helix.user ID, and display name is a string. Users okay, I missed that one. That might have almost been worth copying. Okay, that in and of itself should compile. I call it users. And then let's see, does encode No, that only used it for the video type. And decode is just decode. Okay, that compiles. And that appears to be able to make requests. Okay, that's compiled. Oop, nope, we want to go all the way to the bottom. And then decode is the only module that even references anything here. And really the only reason to have the Twitch library at all, because these are very, very simple decoders, is with that duration parser, which is a little bit gnarly. And then this might end up being worth deploying because it parses so much less of the user and video records that it exposes us less to changes in unimportant fields. And I'm pretty sure we looked at the base one. It didn't even have a module reference to it. All right, how is this holding up? Helix.send. Yeah, this does not hold up well. Now you see, unfortunately, yeah, my subscription. Oh, no, this actually is correct. So I'd actually want to use the subscriptions. Or I'd want to switch this example over to something else. Yeah, this is like half pipelined and half not, which is weird. So I kind of do need to update that. Does the subscription... Yeah, okay, so this by itself has a better example. User would probably be the more obvious one here. And I think that's actually what we ended up using. Yeah, this was users. Now you see, I don't want to say, even though I've got this whole like library thing here, like decode.users, because I want to make sure it's obviously part of the This would be your user type. This... Yeah, we don't actually define the user type here. All right. What other things do we need to know up front? Well, the video... Do we actually say we're doing anything fancy here? Somewhere up front, we want to have a comment to the effect of, hey, most of this stuff is trivial. Maybe we actually want to start out saying... Most modules provide decoders for one specific API request. Notable exceptions include twitch.helix.request, twitch.kraken.request, and twitch.helix. And then some of the other stuff is just going to disappear. So I think decode was once again the old one here, and we got OAuth and token. Twitch.parse. Template. Generic types and decoders. Internal value parsers. Template URL helpers. If we do like decoder modules, and then like decoder example, we'll just provide stock decoders for each field in an API response. These decoders are usually trivial and can be easily replaced if you want to decode as a different type. Most of them are of the form. So we'll pick something like user ID. Library provides the correct field name. At least according to the test suite. Correctly typed field name. Correctly spelled field name. A sensible decode type. And in a few cases, more complex decode types. Notably, video durations are of the form 1 hour, 22 minutes, 33 seconds. And the twitch.helix.video.duration decoder returns it as milliseconds. Now what about, I already have notes in Helix Plane about, this might be worth repeating. And we kind of mentioned the request helpers up there. We've touched most of these. Following videos has just gotten very old. But I think that these were just alphabetic. For on. No exceptions. So I think that switches pretty much all of the apps, except for the kind of obsolete one, to where we don't need the old decode modules. So that should expire. Well, I'm fairly certain it's going to expire Helix Decode. I think that we have subsumed in Kraken Decode and their corresponding tests. And probably ID Decode as well. ID Decode, app OAuth, sample OAuth, OAuth. And we actually did both of these. All right, Helix, Kraken. Do we have an ID decode? We added OAuth in that. Oh, yep, exposed modules. Oh, I need to review my directories. Okay, so Helix, bits leaderboard. I guess for comparing to this, it's going to be easier to... Actually, where is Helix? Yeah, Helix, the request is there. For comparison directories, keeping the alpha is going to be easier. So there's Helix, bits leaderboard, clip, follow, game, request, stream, subscription, user, video. ID has OAuth and token. Kraken has host and request. And template, and I guess I never did expose pars, so I don't need that in the README. You can get to it somewhat easier through video now, because you can just use that well, that does a particular field, so if you just want to do that type of parser, you'd have to copy it. I think that was actually a small gripe I had. I didn't expose that when I was doing the Lambda thing. Okay, so that's all good. The version number is obviously going to have to change. What did I do? Oh, but untracked file preference. Okay, that's all it's saying. Now, I guess I could try to bring up the docs previewer and just to see what the README looks like. I forgot about that, which is a bit of an adventure to find that. Oh, it actually remembered the... Huh. Okay, these are not links. I'm not really sure how... Well... You see, that's going to be very different paths than what it would be in the final thing. So I'm not really sure how to generate links to those. And it would only be in documentation. That probably wouldn't work in like in the GitHub README. I guess I could mark them as code. And in fact, that could be useful as a multi-line thing. No, you're down here now. Okay, it's no longer below, it's above. Librarily. Your trivial API librarily. Spelled names. so that's just that. And I haven't regenerated docs. I guess that still has the decode stuff. Did I have like a... Yeah. Oh. I guess I missed you when I was going through my documentation pass? Oh, I probably only did the main directory. Still, I thought I was running that function in a loop and it should have complained about that. What is this? Is this an OAuth token? An access token? Just OAuth. So I need to find an example of this. What app did I use this in? If any. Well, if I log in, I have to get the user ID from that, right? No, because you can do a request to the user's endpoint with nothing specified to get the user record without having to decode it and then request that ID. So I might not have a good example of this. Yeah, that's on the generating side. That's a hash argument. Maybe Lambda needs it? Extract hash argument. Lambda has to do something with tokens. No, it's not hostable. It's scheduled from videos. Yeah, it's a JSON decode. I guess I always call this auth. Got token. I might just send the entire token, so I don't need to do anything with it. Oh, no, there's id.appOAuth. I was still using that here. You were used somewhere. Although actually, Lambda monitor is not going to compile because we just removed that. So, we no longer have the code for reference. Now, you see, yeah. We were pulling exactly one field out of it. So the code token in this app is going to be Twitch ID, I believe this is OAuth. No conflicts there. id.app_OAuth. So we were saying we had to do... Okay, so app_OAuth was the wholesale decoder before. Wait, did I never do refresh token? I never did a test case for refresh token. That's when you think you're done. So we need OAuth .access token. This is already a map. If I wanted to do secret from string, I would have to wrap that in a map. Okay, that's compiles. Seems to be able to run. So this is the only example I've got for doing this, which is certainly one of the main things you'd need out of here. Now, we don't really explain what secret is. Twitch.id.oauth and I think it's a follow. As OAuth, JSON.decode, as decode in this example. And we don't really explain secret here, but we decode it, we do something with it. All right, so your field decoders, which we actually have to go back and add refresh token. I missed that somehow. Oh, that's right. Which, hey, how about we do that first, huh? We can just copy the list. Okay, schedule from videos, your Twitch API. So, the OAuth test. Access token. Because I didn't have it before, and I think it's only the app tokens that have refresh tokens. Oop. Syntax. And we do not have a name. No surprise. Nope. All right, so test passed. Now we've got all kinds of doc issues. Replace base comma with comma. There is no response here, and we have 2 pieces of sample data. Does not have a, yeah, individual documentation comments. Still going. Generally pretty trivial. I don't know if there's anything much to say about these. Refresh token for app access, for app OAuth. Let's see, what is this? This looks like, we're just going to return it as is. That looks like seconds. Scopes provided by the token. And token type, well, these both say bearer. I guess type of the access token. Okay, so doc's compiled again. So it doesn't seem like great docs, but most of these are really boring methods. Okay, so this example is in the send method itself. Those actually have a little bit more code involved. You know, most of these are just the dumb, simple decoders. I think I played with this and I never actually used it. Okay, so readme OAuth test. Now, does that mean that the token... No, token got documented. That's an internal method. So we need to at least make sure that everything still compiles after all of those changes. And hosting clips actually needs to be, like, realistically updated. Or have actual, like, good things done with it. Let's see. Schedule from videos. Let's see. So the client doesn't do that. We've checked the Lambda handler compiles. Okay, nothing broken. Nothing majorly broken anyway. Okay, hosting, stream credits, hostable. We're not really dealing with the other one. Actually, did I have the README list? Following videos, hostable, hosting clips, schedules, videos, stream credits. Yeah, so we kind of got the obsolete one and then all that stuff. So we haven't broken anything yet. I mean, because we've already modified those applications. So I think stream credits was generally okay. It's hosting clips that needed a lot of work. Let's see, so that's generally safe. All right, and we want... Oh, did I permanently put this into... Oh, show clip false. I guess I got into a previous URL. Or maybe I temporarily modified this to be convenience mode. As I was doing all of my testing. Okay, so the CORS proxy is actually irrelevant now. Didn't we say name was no in clip? Have I not dealt with that yet? Update store, yeah, so we didn't have that information. It used to be part of hosts. Fetching names for other users is delayed. Gee, am I just not fetching other users at all? Ah, self-rate, because I was testing something here. Is that built into the model? Yes. Are we? Okay. Okay, so this is actually a bunch of the conversions. So show clip, self-rate was one though. With default 1.0. Equal to 0.0. Where do I actually use that? Pick command. Random float from 0 to number of hosts. Divided by self-rate. So self-selector. That says that's a Boolean. Ah. So I less than 0. So that would be 0, 2 hosts divided by 1 would be nothing. Divided by 2 would make self twice as likely. Yeah, so 1 should be the standard value. What did we do here? We should have got a fetch error if it was a fetch error. Let's see, we can just go into here. We definitely got hosts. See, where is our pick results? See, did I miss it? Or, okay. Now, you didn't get hosts. Am I rate limited on this? Or do I not even fetch them until the second round? Oh, because I'm not printing it out anymore. Now you see, that was false. So we're missing something else here. $100, 0. Yes, other clips is 0. That seems like a problem. Now, this might be something I disabled for testing. So we definitely got the hosts. See, I'm surprised I was allowed to update that. Response hosts. Yeah, we're not requesting clips at all. That would probably be a consequence of hosts, right? Pending requests. No, just there's no way to restart it. Pending request 0. What did I do? Do we have... These are going to be all mine. Clip cache 1. Are we... Restore it... Not you. Is it index.html? No. What do I call the startup file? Oh, no, just local storage is very small. You'd think we would get some stuff from storage. We got something. So we got a maybe state. We never get loaded. Oh, I guess I didn't notice it before. So we're supposed to be subscribed to that. Oh. Okay, and this has it. It is adjust. I can't really see the details. Oh, no. Okay, so it was over-scrolling. Okay, got ya. So we do have we have some kind of clip cache. Yeah, that's a fair amount of stuff. It's not that we're missing... We're not missing that. Why do we... See, that's clip cache. When we get hosts, we're supposed to get this pair of things. Okay, we had a whole bunch of cached stuff. That's the news. So we don't do anything with these requests. Doesn't go into pending request. Choices is supposed to be that. And I think the 100 is for me. I could take my own list off. Yep, that's a big fat nothing. Is this a timing issue? Well, that we can see from here. Current time loaded, response hosts. Clip cache is empty. Oh, you know what? I probably put that in resolved loaded thinking it was a state update. No, because we're basing that on clip cache. Was clip cache that new thing I put in? Yeah, we're saving the state. No, yeah, this is a model. We got previously cached things. That's choices. Oh, is input clips failing? Oh, wait, now my choices is blank. Well, that's after the fact. Oh, no, it is nothing. So that's a list of host IDs. So that means none of those are in the clip cache. No, we see the clip cache was empty. We're wondering why it's empty. Got dict from list. Hmm. Well, this should actually be in history a little bit, shouldn't it? Loaded. At this point, no, clip cache is still 1. So we're not committing that somehow. Or, well, is this the only entry? Yeah, those are all broadcaster ID, blah, blah, blah. It's also indexed by that. So why are we never getting new? Do I have a do I have a host limit? Host limit 100. Not equal host. Oh, right. Hosts. Cached. Are they in there as empty, maybe? That's only one. So list partition isn't working? This is the right hosts, right? Oh, no. It's called 22 times. So indeed, cache is nothing. So those should all be new. Partition is backwards. I feel like somewhere I flipped this before. I don't remember if it was a different instance of the partition or if it was this one. Wait. What? Okay, there we go. And then the next host came up as everything cached. Now, I've still got 100.0 here. Okay, 100.201. And unfortunately, since I had this kind of partway through, we can't just reset all of this. Actually, that's the debug log is another one of those things I've been kind of meaning to clean up. All right, monitor. All right, we have somebody else. And what we have to do is put a name queue in here. Now at this point, I should actually have that in the URL. I probably don't have a host limit. See, I'm not sure if I've committed some of these other conversions too. All right, name is known clips. Clips are cached. Okay, so we have to update storage. We need to deal with the fetching. I probably need to check my request rates. Did I do that already? I feel like this is the updated one. This 800 is pretty good. I guess we want to fix the name cache first, so it'll be easier to see on the people that are coming up. And then maybe we want to actually cache that. Well, what are we doing for name fetching now? We do have pending requests. That appears to be, in fact, be looking for login names. Fetch clips. Okay, backfill username, yes. Are we doing this on demand or on all of them? We're doing this on pick. which is sort of part of the problem. I guess once we have it cached, then re-requesting it won't be a problem. But right now, this is, let's see, what is this doing? Well, it is a command. We've got a command queue. This is you know what? This is a request name for an individual item. Although we do have the ID here. Yeah, I should really... Right, I don't request them all up front because going forward, names are going to be in the clips. So it would have to be able to find, well, actually, when we get hosts, well, no, when we get clips, clips will come back empty. We don't specifically detect that. Where do we put in the dummy thanks then? Aha. But this only gives us a list of choices. Wait, why do we import clips again? Oh, because that was from, if it's in the cache, we do it. So our clip cache probably has the empty list in it too? So that's not currently a place we can return commands from. Well, if we have had them before, we will eventually have a name cache. And actually, isn't my well, my cache is currently like timestamp clip list. It could be timestamp name clip list. They're gonna have different lifetimes. Save state, maybe pick command, and I guess it's gonna be like a maybe fetch name. I mean, really, why would we have clips as the condition for that? It would just be an if. Fetch broadcaster by ID. Do we have the broadcaster by ID? Probably. Yeah. List.empty. Is it empty or is empty? It's array dot empty. You need anything else? You need the auth. Which puts us inside a just auth. So that is if we have a just auth and it is the empty list. We do that. In all other cases, we do that. And that by itself, all right, you need the auth. How do we know when we've done that? And did you need to go into a command queue? Yeah, that was in pending requests before. This is an immediate. I might have to queue you up. How do I know when I've sent that off? Well, I guess we look at network requests. Okay, so there's the streamlined clips. If we're rate limiting clips, I should probably go into pending. The existing broadcaster by ID is already going around that. Request video data. That's different. Well, okay, so that one is in pending requests. So clips. Clip cache. So this actually, yeah, so these are like internal commands. You need to be properly queued for rate limiting. Is this a prepend? This doesn't need to be a prepend. We do have an append. You know, we can do just straight up make you a list, and then you an empty list. Might need parentheses there still. This was actually not part of that, part of this. Okay, and then these all went on the end. It should be fine because you won't have even gotten to there. So that's step one. We have the names in advance of showing them, so there shouldn't be a gap there. Although when I get a broadcaster, no, I have to go through and update them. User display names. Did I see a flicker there? Yeah, that seemed like a flicker. Oh, I'm probably not actually getting the names from the clips yet. Or maybe only from the cached clips. Yes. Okay, so you had a little difference. All right, so for all of the cached clips, we have to do a persist format update. Broadcaster ID. What is it in the clip itself? Have I already used part of this? Well, actually, since I'm decoding to a persist clip, I don't even have a way to decode this yet. So the first step is we have to make this type able to handle that, and then deal with the sort of immediate errors of that. And what is it in... That's hostable. Not videos, clips. It is indeed broadcaster name. All right, now I have to deal with that in encode. Actually, encode will be fine. Persist decode will not be fine. I guess it's a suitable stand-in for now. Because you have to succeed given old things until we put in the update for it. Of course, this will put in actual data there. We don't necessarily, Yeah, I'm just have to clear cache at some point here. Oh, this is still a map 6. I never flipped you over. I think that's about the limit of it too. What is it? Oh no, this not repeat. We need paste. Ah. Messed up by the indent. And then we have to fix that. So now we have to do a full-on macro. Nope. And now the indent doesn't mess up. I forgot to change lines. Okay, so we got that incorrect. Oh, we have to parenthesize this. Nope. This is only supposed to be in the highlighted. Does this not work with these? It doesn't work with those. Okay. So we have to do specifically map to blah. Is this the wrong format? Let's see. Who does this? I think Hostable had one. Because the streams type got pretty big. That looks fine. The ultimate type of this is going to be wrong, but okay. String. String. User ID. It's using a more compact format now, I think. String. Maybe. Maybe. So why is it going back to there now? Do we have two kinds of clips? No, that's 42. Wait. Oh, this is this decode. Oh, we're decoding both of them to the same thing. So you can actually decode to broadcaster name. So that only updated the structure. We haven't done anything with it yet. Or did we do something with it? So right now, we're always getting name from our application name cache, our application name list. Now, I took name out of these things. So this might be a peer view thing. Okay, thanks. Display name for ID. This should just be straight up in the clip. Or do anything fancy with this? This is just the dict.get display name, display nameless. We don't have a concept of a clip that's missing a name right now. So that might have to be a maybe to handle the data update. Because otherwise we'll load it from cache, it will have a name. It'll have a bad name. So we have to have some indicator of failure to load from cache. Which we might have already destroyed our... Oh no, it's never going to save that. I mean, we either have to do maybe or we have to do some other kind of special case, blank string or whatever. And I guess it's just about the only place that deals with those maybes. Let's see. So this is indeed a field that may not be there at all. And you we expect you to be there. And we still have our backfill name process, so we can, there's some reason to still have this. It's like the worst possible combination of indent adjustment. Move it back and leave my cursor there. All right, so for freshly fetched ones, that would probably work. So we need to set persistence and then hopefully we should not see that have issues. So if we encode that, we're only including this, we're only putting it in there if it was known. Right, because it can be a maybe. We have to actually not encode it if we don't have it. Now, this won't fire until we clear the cache. We're getting some backfills here. So those must be... the ones that had no clips. That wasn't a backfill. Is it application? No. Storage? We probably got... we actually do have a name cache. Oh, okay, I guess we have fetched you. Okay. And we seem to have already done the name cache. So that should take care of those little blinks. Because really only the backfills that were a problem. And I guess to completely get rid of those, you would want to check the clips on receipt to see if they had a name and then prefetch them. That's really only a transitional thing. Okay. That was left over. Broadcaster name, we can convert that. Add that. Change how it's displayed. That actually wasn't too bad. I think I was envisioning some sort of like unknown username queue and stuff. But I think that will work going forward. So the other thing we had going on is I have been trying to kind of get those debug logs out, but that means I basically have to put in a port to do the same thing. With the upside, oh, we still have a backfill. Oh, video data was one of those conversion things, I guess. Yeah, so that's still a notice. And this is something you might want to take through all the apps while we're updating them. And then at some point, maybe if you wanted to, you could go back, hook that up to some sort of, central, like error reporting logging thing. So we think the library is, I guess I haven't like published these. Actually, it probably would take a little bit of time to publish and convert them all back. I guess it's still possible I could run across something while working on the logging stuff. So the simplest possible thing. Well, I guess, what do we call it? I mean, the name debug is already taken. You can imagine something having a reporting module. I guess it could just be log, and it'd be like, we could do like log info, log warn, log error. Did I have that in the other thing? No, it was all in console. Let's see, info. I know there are warn and error methods. Port modules. What do we have for a port module here? We only have local storage. Um, this is only one way, so we need to be encoding JSON. So port, we only need one like this. Log? Now you... Was that an allowance to have multiple entries? Oh, save a string versus save JSON, I guess. Why do we do the encode 0 on that? Well, also the value. Oh, maybe that's just a 0 though. But this suggests that it's taking an additional argument. So let's have a good example of encoding something here. We want, so we have a message, and we want to encode object, which is tuples of, I guess I would have had like stuff in leaflet that would be similar to this, of level, and message, and probably if we actually did the other levels, we could abstract. Except something that filled in this thing. Okay, so local modules, local storage. There's just gonna be log. The other one left is JSON, huh? Ah, yes. List of type. Oh. Yep, and this is message. Oh, and this has to be in code. Ah, yes. And then... Now, I guess what I typically do is there's like a kind on these. Since this is log commands, level sort of makes sense. All right, so where's my init? Batch. Right, there's no code for this yet. And this was a much simpler thing. No, it's switch message.kind. Or actually, is there a console? Is there a console.info? Yes, there is. Oh, yep, and actually do something. App.ports.log command. Oh, is this... No, this is not sub... This might be subscribe. Yes. Okay, I guess it'd be just log.log. It's a little bit awkward. Log.message. All right, so if we have, then maybe this is the command. Command level. And then we do info equals command info. Warn, error, and log.log. I know it's being implemented just yet. All right, so you are, let's see, key. I guess that was a screen lock. Don't know I did that. So the error location information is going to be extraordinarily not useful. I don't think I have any way around that. Maybe I shouldn't have an error level. That's certainly a caution against using it. All right, so you're an easy one. It looks like it is indeed all in this file. This is an error. It's not going to crash the application, it just won't work. Okay, so here's the problem with this. Okay, source is a string, that's fine. And we're doing blank. But they might want some way to do more with that. Like with HTTP errors. And that I might have actually dealt with before. Oh, I did it as right. Well, that was for like just write text. What did I do with HTTP errors? Well, I guess I just didn't have HTTP errors, did it? I may have had decode errors. Oh no, there's something else that I purged. Did I do it? Did I do it in the map? I did have one like this. Oh, that was a mistake. Yep, okay. And you had decode error and HTTP error. I thought I'd done this somewhere. Which means depending on HTTP. And it even turned out to log command. However, this had log. Okay, so these followed debug and always had a value. Decode error, HTTP error, HTTP error. I might not have actually used that very much yet. Because I mostly use this for error reporting. Which suggests that maybe this is like error dot. Error.http error dot something. Which means that the code we had will no longer work. Oh, I had a debug level. Well, that means that you probably have edit public. Oh, there's a console.debug. Okay. Okay, so we don't have log.log. To just put something out. Oh, because I called the inner one log. There's your error. Ah, which ran it through that error. And then yeah, this needed a value. You don't even have encode, do you? Oh, I guess you do. S encode JSON.encode. And I had actually transposed a log.error. No, log.warn. Maybe these things don't have a value and HTTP and JSON decodes do. And we do other specialized things where we need to do that. Or there would be some specialized thing where you could try to pass through a value. Because otherwise you have to encode the value. So that one actually did not have an error to report in that case. It's HTTP bad status. Now these actually have errors. I need to punt on this. Oh, undefined, undefined, undefined. So we changed our field name. We have note and value. So maybe this compact version doesn't work. Message.note, message.value. So it's gonna kind of change things. Actually, this one I did just subscribe directly. And we also added straight up log. And the bug looks just like info. So this looks like an HTTP error. And you have another command. Okay, you have only this. Oh, we got a whole string to construct here. Yeah. Always does that. Yeah, see, this is just a flat message again. Flat message. Seconds, but that's the one when we turn off. You see, there's an ID, which those could be stringified. Yeah, my other one never used it. Well, you can report arbitrary data, but it has to be JSON encoded. So I think we have to make these not do a value. And then I actually have to do something different with error. Because I was using error. To report these guys. Maybe debug only debug includes it. Then we have to we have error and then we have error with value. I never did put any automatic level of reporting stuff. I guess we could count in the browser for that here. That means it's not all one command. So it's going to be a value regardless. We have a command with arg. And we actually have to vary this by type. And then do these become manual instances? So then debug has a value, log does not, info does not, warn does not, error does not. Oh, but that was like error with value. Actually, yeah, all of these are now wrong. Got 2 instead, so we forgot to update you properly. Wait, log.info. Oh, what's the wrong one? Oh, you were supposed to be debug. And then actually error undefined, which... Alright, broadcaster did not find that login name. That's a true debug.log. This is doing commands. From int. And then all the parentheses. Actually, no, we have to set the plus plus operator. Oh no, you are a string. Actually, yeah, this is just full-on duplication. Oh, almost. Almost. Backfill username. Okay, so that's just a time thing. Oh, so I might still be fetching these based on expirations. Yeah, I might want to go in here and see if the clip has a name. See, the user ID is slightly different here. Gee, oh, that doesn't have a clip user ID. That's a legitimate one. Now, I don't actually have a process set up to differentiate between a dev build and a production build to actually use Optimize. That might be a separate thing to work on. In theory, we should ideally do this for all the apps. Oh, we need to get rid of debugging stuff. I can actually use all of these types, which might mean it's too much. Yeah, slide that out. Replace debug.log. And now I'm trying because there's like a bunch of apps to do that with. So on one hand, it's a bit of work, and on the other hand, I don't know if it's a whole other stream. I guess it'd be a relatively low thought background process sometime. Oh, and the other thing, right, I want to do this first, just in case I noticed anything else with the Twitch library, which so far nothing's cropped up. But that would be a prerequisite to publishing the Twitch, to switching these off of local, to doing final update of all of these apps. Which, maybe that's unit of work. But right now, I just feel done. Thanks to support from all subscribers and everybody who hosted me. Should be back to actually doing some one-on-one life this afternoon. It's a brand new world, but it's also almost a week old now, so it's not going to be that much different. That's what I'm usually on. And goodbye.